through the Q&A option, and I'll be more than happy to answer that. And if there is anything which you haven't understood, or if there is anything which is not very clear to you, so you don't have to wait towards the Q&A session and then you like ask your question. You can ask your question whenever you want. And many times when we are in a public platform, where we are in a public gathering, we feel a little conscious and we sometimes don't ask the question, or it may be very legitimate or very genuine question that is there in my mind, but I will just feel that what will others think and may not ask the question. So you shouldn't do that because on our platform or on this Zoom session that you're joining here today, you have this option wherein you can ask your question without revealing your identity. So you can ask your question as anonymous without revealing your identity. But what is more important, that your questions, your concerns, your doubts should be answered so that you can benefit the maximum from this session. All right, so this is where in a few moments I'm going to start sharing my screen, and very briefly I am going to take you through the Indian Business Portal. That's the first topic that we'll be discussing, and then we will move on to the other discussion. So just allow me a few seconds to start sharing my screen, and then we will move ahead. So all right. I hope everyone can see my screen and you're going to hear me as well. So this is Indian Business Portal. It is a platform which is jointly created by the Federation of All India Export Organization and GlobalLinker. So it is a joint initiative by FIEO and GlobalLinker. In case you are not aware what is FIEO, so FIEO is acronym or short form for the Federation of All India Export Organization, which is a premium or apex export promotion body by the government of India. And GlobalLinker is a business networking and digitization enablement platform. So on GlobalLinker platform, you can connect and network with business owners from 150 countries, and you can also digitize your business, or you can grow your business digitally by creating a profile, a digital catalog, and also participation in these kinds of discovery platform like Indian Business Portal. So again, very shortly, in a very simple language, what is Indian Business Portal and what is the purpose? So it is a platform which is created to showcase products from Indian exporters so that Indian exporters get a digital representation in the international landscape, and they are able to generate leads and inquiries from international buyers or orders from international buyers, and they can grow their business in a more effortless and a more enjoyable manner. So that is the Indian Business Portal, and how you can join Indian Business Portal, how you can create your digital catalog. That is all I will be explaining later. But before we go there, let me show you Indian Business Portal a little bit. We'll spend a few minutes here, not spending a lot of time, and I will try to highlight few of the USPs which are there on Indian Business Portal and how it is going to facilitate the export business, or it is going to facilitate your export business. So firstly, Indian Business Portal, which is open in front of you. How can you access this platform? So you can just type indianbusinessportal.in on your browser, or you can search for Indian Business Portal, and this platform will open in front of you. Now here, as a platform is open in front of us, there is a navigation, there is a search, and there are different buttons or options which you can see on the screen. Now, all of them have very specific purpose or very specific use cases. So we'll try to highlight only the most relevant ones, or the USPs which are relevant or which is relevant to your business. So the first thing that I'm going to highlight, and this is something which is extremely important for your business is if I scroll down, it is not displayed on the top. If I scroll down, that's where you can see there's a section called buyers looking for, and here you'll find leads. These are actual live leads of international buyers who are looking to buy something from India or who are wanting to source something from India. And this is where these leads are displayed. Now, is this all which is there on Indian Business Portal? Absolutely not. These are like tip of iceberg. Many of the international exporters are directly connecting with Indian suppliers and then doing business with them. These are the ones, for some reason, they were not able to connect with the Indian exporter directly onto the platform, or they sought FIEO's help in connecting with Indian exporters, and these leads are displayed here. Now, a buyer, when they are not able to connect with an Indian exporter on the platform, for whatever the reason may be, they can come here and they can submit their buying requisition. So there is a request for quotation feature which is available here. Now we are also moving these leads, or we are also going to provide these leads on your Digital Catalog seller panel, and that is something I'll be showing to you little later when I show you or demonstrate to you the Digital Catalog creation process. But this is where what I'm trying to stress in front of you, or trying to highlight in front of you, is that there are already opportunities which are available on the platform, and it is up to you to come here and grasp them. One thing that you should keep in mind, that there is already a change which is getting implemented, and when that change gets implemented, these leads can only be accessed and submitted by whom? By the participants of Indian Business Portal. At the moment, anyone can come and they can view the leads, but that is all going to change. So it will only be accessible by the participants on Indian Business Portal. So that is where it is high time that you should join Indian Business Portal. So because obviously this is a gold mine for your business. Leads are available. You can just submit your requisition and get connected or get business for international buyers. Right. So that was a very important highlight I wanted to show to you. Now, even the search which is there on Indian Business Portal, it is customized to facilitate international business or export. How so? Because you can see product, and which is a common field, right? So if you go to any of the platform, even small websites, you'll have the product search. How am I saying it is unique? So that's where if you click on it, that's where there is even an option to search by HS code, right? So if there's an international buyer and they're looking for exporters from India which are supplying products for a particular HS code, they can very easily do that. And additionally, if they're looking for a particular supplier from a particular supplier name, that is also possible. So for example, someone told you them that this is a very popular, very nice supplier from India. So they can just simply come and search, or they happen to find you on the platform. And then when they are sharing that with one of their colleagues, one of their superiors, they can just simply type your name and they can show this is the seller and this is their profile. And then they can decide to connect with you and take the discussion forward. Right. So even the search is customized. There is a RFQ facility which is available, and the navigation is here. Now, navigation is, it doesn't look that extensive, but actually it is very vast. It has more than 4,500 categories and subcategories, which literally covers all the products which are out there. Right. So that option is available. Now, here you'll see there is a special emphasis on GI product, which are geographic indications of India, or these are the specialty products which are there from India. So these are like unique products which are either cultivated or manufactured at a particular location in India. For example, Darjeeling. So the moment I say Darjeeling, all of us or most of us relate to it as a very popular hill station. And then the second thought is obviously about the tea, which is cultivated in Darjeeling, which is also very popular, right? So Darjeeling tea is a GI product. Now, the unique thing about the GI product is that GI is of a specific location, right? So it cannot be done anywhere else, right? So tea can be cultivated anywhere where the climate is suitable, but it will not be the Darjeeling tea, because the Darjeeling tea is only cultivated in Darjeeling. So these are like unique areas of opportunities or unique islands of opportunities that we have, and government is doing all the efforts to optimize their presence, and the same can be seen on Indian Business Portal, where there is a special highlight, special emphasis on GI products, and this is where you can go by navigation. So this is where, if there is an international buyer who's looking for suppliers for GI products, they can just simply come here and they can either review it by the different categories or broader categories. Subcategories are very extensive, so these are the broader categories, or they can go by location as well. And then even in locations, for example, I've just opened Varanasi, and here Varanasi is very popular for Banarsi sari, which you can see here, but they are equally popular for their wooden lacquer toys. So if I'm coming here you can see all the products from the various manufacturers of wooden lacquer toys. They are visible here. And why I brought you here is also a very important reason, because these are artisans or small scale artisans or small scale manufacturers who are representing themselves digitally, and they are generating leads and opportunities for their business using Indian Business Portal. So if they can do it, why can't you do it? It is very simple and very easy. In fact, I'll be explaining that to you now. With respect to GI products, there is also a special highlight here. So here you can see GI logo is displayed on all the products, on the GI products. So they are all tagged differently. They all have the GI emblem attached to them. Now, this is a seller, which is a manufacturer of these products or an exporter of these products. So now if I'm clicking on the title, that's where I can navigate to their profile. And this is where I can see their profile. I can see their entire catalog here. So here you can see the entire catalog is there. Now I can also go to the About Us section and read information about this particular exporter. When did they started their business, where they are located, and what they are interested in. And if I want, I can also visit their online store. So this is where I can visit their online store, and then I can review further details here. And if I want, I can call them or send them an email, or I can also schedule a meeting with them. This is also a highlight or USP on Indian Business Portal, because this is where we understand that having a conversation is equally important. Now, discovery is one part where someone is able to find you that, hey, this is a manufacturer, this is an exporter, but like, how do we help you connect? How do we help a international buyer connect with you? So that is where this is a feature which is also available on Indian Business Portal. Using this feature, an international buyer will be able to schedule a meeting similar to how we are connecting digitally. In a similar fashion, an international buyer will be able to connect with you and share their requirement, what they're looking at, and then you can proceed ahead to convert the deal, or we can take the discussion forward, right? So that those kind of features are available on Indian Business Portal, right? Now, many times people have asked me this question, so I'm just trying to answer that, although in bits and pieces I've already answered that. And the question is, how will an international buyer, if they find us on Indian Business Portal, how will they connect with us? How will we get an order or inquiry from them? So there are multiple options which are available for an international exporter or an international buyer or importer to connect with you. So once they have found you, they can either send a trade inquiry. So this is where you can see there's an option called trade inquiry. So they can use that and they can send you a trade inquiry, or they can request a meeting, or they can click on contact seller and they can send you a contact request. They can send you an inquiry that, hey, we are interested to connect with you, and then you can take the discussion forward. Or they can visit your online store and then they can connect with you over the phone or email, which is displayed on your digital catalog, your online store, right? So these are the different options which are available for international buyers to connect with you, right? So we'll very quickly go back to the home page, and there is one more highlight that I am going to show to you, and that is how, because finding an exporter is one thing, how that credibility or trust is also nurtured on Indian Business Portal. Now here I am showing you profile of another exporter. Now here, firstly, you can see it is mentioned as a registered FIEO member. So if they come here, they can see the RCMC certificate of FIEO. So if you are a registered FIEO member, you are properly highlighted here. Additionally, all the certifications that you're adding to your profile, all those certifications are also displayed here. So here you can see IC code, registration certificate, etc. They're all mentioned here. Now, the objective of mentioning or showcasing these certificates is obviously to build that trustworthiness, because again, as I said earlier, discovery is one part which I think you will also agree that Indian Business Portal is solving that challenge very well, right? So if you look at an international buyer, what are the two challenges they are facing? The first challenge is obviously, how do I find Indian exporters? That challenge is solved, right? So they can come here and they can see Indian exporters and then they can connect with them, right? So that challenge or that problem is solved. Now, the second challenge remains that how do you decide who is a better one or who is most trustworthy and who is a fraud and who is not a fraud, right? So you have to do that judgment as well. You have to do that evaluation as well. Now, these kind of thing helps in that evaluation process, so that they are able to understand that you are a seasoned exporter, you are a trustworthy exporter, you are a genuine business. And that's why all these details are displayed here, so that they can make up their mind that it is a genuine business and they can do business with you with a confidence, or they can at least proceed ahead with the next step of sending you an inquiry with confidence. So that is why these informations are displayed here, so that the international buyers feel more confident that they are dealing with genuine exporters from India. All right. So I hope these are I think these are enough points highlighting the Indian Business Portal. By now, all of you, I am believing, have a very good insight about Indian Business Portal and few of the USPs which are out there. So it is a opportunity. It is an open opportunity, as I say, which is available to you. So if you are an Indian exporter, you must be on this platform, firstly, because it is a opportunity which does not entail a significant effort or investment at your end, and you'll be able to benefit for years with this opportunity. Now, let's come back to the major discussion that we are all gathered here. How can you create a digital catalog to start showcasing your product or services on Indian Business Portal? So that's where the first step is obviously to go to Indian Business Portal. Now, this is where, before I start explaining the process, I would want to share a message or share in what do you call it? The word is skipping my mind. Share a clarification that if you are a seller or if you are an exporter who has already signed up on GlobalLinker platform and you have already created your online store and you are joining today's session, then you don't have to follow this process that I am going to explain to you. This is a process that you can follow if you have joined through FIEO GlobalLinker, the FIEO GlobalLinker platform that we have, or you haven't joined and you haven't created the account. So I'm repeating this message once again. If you are someone, so for example, we have a partnership with ICICI Bank, or we have a partnership with Retailer Association of India, or we have a partnership with Telangana government, Telangana state government. So if you have already created an account through any of other partnerships that we have, and you have already created an online store, then you don't have to follow the process that I'm going to explain. There's a different process that I'll be explaining towards the end of the session, or after we are done understanding this process, and I'll show you that. But this is a process that has to be followed only by exporters who have already not created an account, or if you have created, then you have created through the FIEO GlobalLinker partnership that we have, right? So I hope that message is clear. Now, coming back to our discussion, that if you have to join Indian Business Portal, if you have to start showcasing your product or services on Indian Business Portal, then how can you go about it? So the first step is, and the obvious step is you have to go to Indian Business Portal. And once you are here, you have to click on this option, which is also very obvious, register as Indian exporter, which will open a page on your browser. So this is the page that will get opened up. Now here, obviously, you will be very tempted and excited to click on create your catalog. You shouldn't do that. Ideally, you should scroll down all the way to the bottom, and that's where you'll see there's an option called tutorial video. You should click on it. If you want, you can review the steps also. I would not discourage you that you should read those steps, but what will be more engaging and easy to understand as well is to review this tutorial video. So you can just simply click on this link, tutorial video. A video will open up. I'll just show you. This is the video which will open up. So you should ideally have this video. I think we'll have to.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur? Are you interested in selling your products?
We have to just bear with the ad. Although our channel is not monetized, so don't feel that our channel is monetized and that's why these ads are playing. No, absolutely not. These ads are playing because YouTube has to make their earning out of it. So that's why. So this is the video which is linked. I am going to use the video to explain the rest of the process. So I think we have already seen the steps. We are not going to play this video because obviously the video is available and playing it would mean wasting your time. So I wouldn't do that. So I'm going to just talk to you or highlight to you the aspects which are not clarified in the video. Although in the video also I've clarified or I've given a very detailed explanation, and that's why you'll see it is almost 22 minutes long. But still, there are certain things which may not be very clearly explained in the video. So I'll try to explain them while we are interacting. So obviously, the first step, register as an Indian exporter. Then you come here, click on create your catalog. Now, this page opens up. Now here, if you haven't signed up on FIEO GlobalLinker and you don't have an account, in that case, you should sign up and create an account. And if you already have an account, so that's where you'll see there is an option called login. Then you can go and log into your account. So either you sign up or log in. So if you already have an account, then log into it. If you don't have an account, in that case, you just sign up here. And then you'll have to do a mobile verification, GST number verification. Now, many people ask us that why do you need our GST number? So GST number is used to check whether the business is actually a registered business or not, or whether it is a genuine business or not. So it is used for business verification. Now, many people think that what is the need, right? Why should I provide my GST number to these guys? I should continue to use the platform. Not there are few flip sides to it, or there are few disadvantages to this practice of not adding the GST number. I'll just quickly show you. So for that, I'm going to switch my screen, and we are going to go to another browser. Just sorry, let us pause this video, and I'm going to open the account. I think I accidentally closed that. So this is a demonstration account that I used for conducting my training workshops. But more importantly, what I'm trying to show you that what are the disadvantages or what are the issues that you may face by not adding your GST number. So for example, there's a demonstration account and obviously it is not GST verified. So if I try to write a post here explaining to all the participants who are there on the GlobalLinker network, which is from 150 countries, if I want to share with them that, hey, I'm an exporter of agri products from India, and these are the products that I supply. Would you like to connect with me if you're looking for buying agri products from India? I want to do that post here. But because I haven't added the GST number, you can see that I can't do that, or I can't comment. So if there is a post by someone who is looking for the products that I export, I can't comment because I haven't verified myself as a genuine business. And as I mentioned earlier, GlobalLinker, this ecosystem has two parts. One is the digital commerce part, which we are any which ways discussing. The second part is about business networking. And one of the very common activity that people do here on this interface, other than sharing information about the product or services that they are offering, is to connect with other business owners. So similar to how we do social networking on Facebook or professional networking on LinkedIn, this is where businesses do business networking, where one business owner is connecting with other business owners, and that is where if your business is not verified, so I'm just quickly taking you to the ad connections page, and that's where I'll show you that if you are a verified business, you'll have a green tick, and any other business who's reviewing your profile. So, for example, you are a footwear manufacturer from India, and there's a business from other country who is looking for footwear manufacturers from India. Now they come across three profiles. One of the person has the green tick, and the other two don't have a green tick. Now you can judge for yourself who will get that lead, right? So that's why it is suggested. It is my personal suggestion that you should add your GST number. There can be possibility that while you're creating your digital catalog, you don't have your GST number handy or available. Don't worry, add it at a later stage, but you should add it. You should present yourself as a genuine business, as a verified business. So you should do that. Then you have to like add your company name, and then what is your legal entity type, then your location, etc. Click on next, then specify the industry, and then sorry, I think I clicked fast forward it quite a bit. So once you have specified your industry, then you have to specify what type of business operations do you have, and it is a multi-select, so you can select multiple, and then this interface will open up. Here you have to click on convert now, which will open this pop-up. Here you have to answer three simple questions, which are very simple. So I'll not spend your time explaining them. And then this interface will open. So this is where you have to select a design theme as per your requirement. And in case you're not liking any of the design theme, because that is a very common question that people ask me that, hey, what if we choose a particular design theme and tomorrow we are not liking it? Can we change it? Yes, absolutely. You'll be able to change that. In fact, you will be able to change that in matter of seconds. You can easily switch from one design team to another design team. So that is absolutely not a problem for you. In fact, what I propose to members is that every 6 months or every 1 year, you should change the design theme of your online store. Otherwise, your online store, your digital catalog will start looking boring, right? So some person is quite frequently coming to your digital catalog and it remains the same over the years. So obviously, it will give that feeling that there's nothing new and there's nothing happening with this organization. It seems to be operating at the same pace, right? So you should keep switching or changing the design theme from time to time to keep that digital catalog, that online store, keep looking as fresh as possible, right? So that was a very common question that gets asked. But more fundamentally, many times when I'm explaining about these design themes, people get confused. What is this design theme? They're not able to relate or try to, they're not able to understand. And that is absolutely okay, because I don't expect you to be well versed with anything and everything with that is related to technology or e-commerce. So that is absolutely okay. I understand that you may not be able to relate to what I'm saying. So what I'll do is I'll try to explain that in a little more fundamental way so that you are able to understand it conceptually. And for that, I'm going to switch my screen and I'm going to take you to the browser. This is where we were seeing Indian Business Portal, and I'm going to open a PowerPoint slide. Now, I'm using PowerPoint slide because as business professionals, we are all like familiar with this is a tool which all of us use almost on a daily basis. So this is where I'm going to use a presentation, and this is the presentation which is getting opened up. Now, on this presentation, you can see I have just added 5 words, how to create digital catalog. That's it. And the background is currently like red and the text is white. That's how it is appearing. Now, if I change the template, if I change the design theme, you will notice that the text remains the same. So it is still those 5 words, how to create digital catalog. But the way it is shown on the screen, it has changed significantly. The background is black. There's a different graphic. In fact, the font has changed. The font size has also changed, right? Or if I change to this particular design theme, again, you'll see that the text has remained the same. So the content which I've added to this slide, the text has remained the same. These are the same 5 words which we had earlier, but the way it is presented, the way or the method of presentation, it has changed. So that is the concept of themes. What is happening, depending on which design theme we are selecting, the way this information is presented, it is changing. So all these design themes that you're seeing here, these are different ways in which the information is presented, right? So that is what is happening. So this is or what you have to select. So in case you were confused, I hope the concept is clarified. This is the design themes that are there. So sorry, that's the concept of design themes. And coming back to the step that you have to do, so this is where you have to just select any of the design theme as per your liking. And tomorrow, once your digital catalog or your online store is getting ready, at that time, if it is not looking very nice, no worries, you can change it very easily. So now let's move on to the next screen. That's where you have to specify your business name. And so your store name, it is pre-populated, but if you want to, you can make changes to it. And then you have store URL. So store URL, that's where you'll see there's a code written there. So you have to firstly delete that, because obviously someone asks you, hey, you have created an online store, you have created a website, can I look at it? Let me know what is the URL of that. And you'll not be saying, okay, type 166b6 something something. You'll not be saying that. You'll say reliablefashion.linker.store, open that, and you'll be able to see the digital catalog that I have created, right? So that's where you should firstly delete what the system has created for you, and you should ideally type your business name, unless you are dealing in a popular brand. So in that case, it can be the brand name as well, but for most businesses, it will be the business name, right? So what you have to do here is you have to replace this code with your business name. Don't add space in between, and it should be all small characters. So all small characters without space. Just type your business name. You have to be only conscious of the fact that it can be only 25 characters. So in case some modifications are required, you can do that. And then you can click on create store. But before we move ahead, many people ask me that what is this URL? So URL is basically what we type to open a website. So for example, to open Indian Business Portal, we type indianbusinessportal.in. Or a more common example, to open Google, what do we type? We type google.com. So similarly, if tomorrow someone has to open the online store that we are creating for your business, what should they type? That's what we are trying to define here. So it will be, let's say, reliablefashion.linker.store, right? But what is this linker.store? So linker.store is our subdomain that we are providing to our users absolutely free of cost. Now, you might be wondering, what is the intent? Why are these guys providing their own domain? What is the hidden agenda behind that, right? You might be getting curious. That might be coming to your mind. So don't worry, there's no like sinister agenda there. We are just trying to facilitate the digital growth journey or we are trying to make the digital growth journey as convenient as possible. So let me try to explain this with an example. So there are businesses which are joining GlobalLinker ecosystem, and they are trying to create a digital catalog so that they can start their digital growth journey, or they have a digital presence. Now, that's where those businesses don't create online stores on a day-to-day basis. They are doing it for the very first time. So psychologically, it is like you're riding the bicycle for the very first time, or you have started driving for the very first time, right? Now, remember when we started driving for the very first time, how scared or how conscious we were, right? So similarly, they are doing it for the very first time. And unfortunately, a common psychology that we have, or a common feeling that we have, that when we start talking about online e-commerce website, everyone feels that it is very technical and one needs to have coding knowledge or one needs to have software degree to do all that. But it is actually or absolutely untrue that you need any of that. Any common individuals who can operate an email can very well create a digital catalog. They can very well create websites, and they can grow their business very easily. That is absolutely possible in today's day and age. So no technical knowledge, etc., is required. But still, because we have that that thought embedded in our mind, so we can't avoid it. That is there as part of our upbringing or as part how we grew, right? So probably the next 2-3 generations may not have that feeling, but our generation absolutely has that feeling, wherein anything technical, it gives that impression that it may be very difficult or very complicated, right? So they are already stressed that we are doing something which is like very complicated, although actually it is not, but they have that feeling. So when they are already stressed, they are already in a tension. At that time, we ask them, hey, buy a domain, buy an SSL. Obviously, they will get absolutely overwhelmed and they may not continue ahead. They may just drop the ideal. Okay, it is too complicated. I'll not do it, right? So they'll do like that, or they'll have that kind of feeling. So that's why to make that journey, when you're like walking in uncharted space and you're walking alone, if we can make that journey as convenient as possible, as easy as possible, that's what we are trying to do here by providing our subdomain. That's the objective of providing our subdomain. However, using it is not mandatory. You can use it or you can take it live on your own domain, right? Now, this is also something which might be a little confusing. So I'll try to show you. So this online store that we saw, Rameshwar Singh Toys.linker.store. So they have decided to continue to use linker.store as the subdomain, but there are other businesses. For example, I'm just going to open one of the exporters. Digital Catalog. So they have decided to take it live on their own domain. So this is where you are not seeing linker.store. It is their own domain. So it is entirely your decision. So we are not forcing anyone that, hey, you have to use linker.store because you have created your online store on our subdomain. We are not doing any of that. It is entirely your decision whether you want to use linker.store or you would want to take it live on your own domain. Now, related to this, many people ask me this question that what is better? Should we use linker.store or should we take it live on our domain? The answer is obviously on your domain, because there will be advantages with respect to digital marketing, your digital catalog, your website. So you'll be able to market it in a better way when it is live on your own domain as compared to being live there on linker.store, right? So that is there. So I think I've attempted to answer all the questions related to all the popular questions related to the URL. But still, if there is anything which is not there or I have missed to cover that, you can add your question in the Q&A and I will try to answer that. So let's move ahead. And that's where the seller panel reveals, and that's where all the features which are there on the site, they are also visible. And this is the seller panel which you will be using to manage and control your online store. So this is where you'll see there's a bubble on the screen. This is the bubble that I'm referring to. So you click on it, it will show you the different steps which are there. So the only step is to create your catalog, which if you click, it will take you to this interface. This is used to upload the products, and this is wherein you are filling the information into the form and you can upload the product. But if you have video. So you can go here and you can download the sample import format and you can upload the products. And then in this video, the next steps are how to upload the catalog. That is all clearly explained here. So I'm not going to go into those details because any which ways video is available, and it is explained in a quite extensive manner in the video as well. And this video is available in Hindi as well as English. So the video that you are currently seeing, it is in English, but if you go to the description of this video, you'll find link to the Hindi video as well, right? So in case you want to understand the process in Hindi, that option is also available. So we'll just skip through the product upload part because any which ways it is clearly mentioned. And now towards the end of this video, you will see, towards the end of the video, that's where you'll publish your store and your online store is created now. Now, in towards the end of the video, I've highlighted this particular video, which is compliance checklist. So this is the link of this video is also available in the descriptions. You should review, or you must review this video, compliance checklist video. Why so? Because that is where we have highlighted what are the common mistakes that can prevent your digital catalog, your product or services from being showcased on Indian Business Portal. You have put in all this effort, created it, but if it is not visible on Indian Business Portal, then what is the purpose of this all effort, right? So we absolutely value your time. So that's where review that video. It is again not a very extensive video. It has a list of all the issues that can prevent your product or services from being showcased on Indian Business Portal, and how you can fix those. That is also explained in the video. So you should review, or you must review the video. The link is there in the description. And then the contact details are also here. So this is how you can create your online store. Now, this is where you are creating your online store. Let me just hide this, otherwise it will keep bothering us. And let me just close this window, and let's hide this now. Once you have created your online store, and this, let's go back. This is where we have the seller panel. So this is the seller panel. I'm just going back to the demonstration account. So you have created the online store, you have completed all the steps that I've highlighted in the video. Once you have done that, then what are the next steps that you have to do? So obviously you have to populate your catalog. So you can come here and you can do either bulk upload, or you can do a manual upload, whichever is more convenient to you. You can do that, and then you can work on adding more credibility to your online store. How do you do that? So you have to click on store settings, which is here, and then you can click on store details, which will open the store details tab. And then you have a section called about your exports. You click on that, and that's where you'll see this form. So you can input the information into this form. This is where again you have to provide information about your business. All this information is displayed on Indian Business Portal. So let me just go back to that window, which I was showing to you, the profile. Sorry, I think we will to go back to just have a look at the profile. So all this about section which we have here, this is populated using the information that you're adding here. How do you access this section, in case you're wondering? So you have to, in the left navigation of your online store, you have to firstly click on store settings, and then store details, and about your export. And this is where you'll see this section where you have to input your IC number. You have to specify what is the legal entity type, your establishment, what type of businesses you are into, manufacturer, merchant, or if you're a service provider as well. You can select all the three options. Are you MSME? What is the export turnover? Countries you have already exported to, countries you would like to export to. Now, with respect to export turnover, many times people ask us this curious question on our help desk, that we have just started our business, and that's where we don't have a turnover as such. So in that case, what option should we select? So that's where we suggest them you should select less than $10,000, because it is less than. So less than can be $0 as well, right? So you should select this option in case you are having that query as well. And then you have number of employees. This is where you have to add your license and certificate, and then you have to add brief information about a simple reason why should one do business with you. So you have already provided information about yourself, but you should also tell that why should someone do business with you. So that is something that you have to specify here. And lastly, you have to specify what type of proposals you are interested in, and then click on save, and that will update or populate the about section on Indian Business Portal. So that is the second important thing that you have to do. The third important task that you have to do is you have to go to My Store, and that's where I've shown you the themes. Select a suitable theme as per your business requirement, and then you can go to Store Preview, and then you can customize the store by adding banners, modifying the color scheme. So basically you are beautifying your online stores. You can upload banners, you can change the color scheme, or you can change the font colors, etc. Not the font, but the colors, etc. All that can be changed. Why am I suggesting that it is important? Because many exporters just feel that, hey, we have visibility on Indian Business Portal. Now, how good or bad our online store looks does not have any relation with the conversions that we'll be getting. No, absolutely. Just imagine that if you were a international buyers, you would come here and you're like sitting thousands of kilometers away. So you would want to be double, triple, 10 times sure about the business that you are about to get into a transaction with, and they would be reviewing everything. So they will definitely visit your online store, and that's why it is extremely important that it has to be at least professional looking. I'm not expecting that it has to be the most beautiful website on the planet. No, absolutely not. But whatever in your capacity, because of the various tools that we have, it is very easy these days to set up a beautiful looking online store. So how you should do that, in case you are getting curious that how should I do all this, making this beautiful. So sometime back I did a webinar wherein I showed to the audience how you can use AI tools to set up an online store, right? So from ground to the entire complete one. So I'll share the link of that recording of that uh, webinar. You can review that and you can understand how you can like create banners or how you can create good content for your online store using AI tools. So I'll be sharing the recording. So this is the major important part. Now, if you are someone who is wanting to receive orders from your customers, so instead of just generating inquiries, so for example, if we go to Indian Business Portal, this is let me just show you. So this is where you see buy option is there. So in case you want to have this kind of an experience that someone is looking at your product and you want to give them an option that they can buy your product as well. So in that case, you will also have to enable payment and logistic. How do you do that? So again, settings section, that's where there is a payment section and logistics section. So you can go to the payment section and you can enable the various payment methods. PayPal is what you should look at. And for international payment acceptance, and then shipping zone, firstly you should enable shipmax, which is a international courier operator. You should enable that, and then you can go to shipping zone and you can set up the shipping rates or shipping charges you may want to charge from international customers, right? So you can, this is how you can set it up. You can create a beautiful looking online store. Now this is your own online store, so a lot of people just don't get this very clearly. This is your own website, although you have created it using FIEO GlobalLinker or it is on GlobalLinker's technology backend, but this is your own entity. It is in your name. So that is why it is your responsibility to make it or maintain it and answer to all leads, inquiries, etc., which are coming to your online store. All right. So that was how you can create a digital catalog, how you can create an online store and you can start showcasing products on Indian Business Portal. Now, let me very quickly explain the process for the users who have already signed up using our various partnerships. So this is where you are not seeing FIEO GlobalLinker, whereas the other account that I was showing you, this is FIEO GlobalLinker. Here you can see it is FIEO GlobalLinker. This is normal GlobalLinker, and there are various other partnerships as well. So if you are someone who has already created an account, you already have an online store, in that case, what should you do? So you just go to your seller panel. This is the seller panel opening up, and on this seller panel, to start showcasing your products, sorry, I think I missed to deactivate the request. So let me try to stop the screen share and try to log into the account once again. So this is, just give me few seconds to do that. So I am going to turn off the screen share, and very quickly I am going to log into another account, and then I'll show you the process. It will hardly take like 2 minutes and you'll be able to understand. So give me a few seconds to quickly log into the account, and then I will show you the process. In the interim, if there are any questions, I can see there are few questions which the members have added. So if there are any other questions which are there, so you please add them to the chat. Don't wait for me to turn off or stop talking and then you'll be asking the questions. As it is coming to your mind, you should feel free to ask your question. We absolutely uh, encourage our participants that you should ask as many questions as you want, because you have taken out your time and you are participating here. So you should get the maximum benefit from the time that you're spending here. So that's why we always encourage our participants that you should ask as many questions as you want. And they can be, they don't have to be very scientific and very like knowledgeable questions. They can be simple questions, simple things which are not very clear to you. So you can also ask them. I am trying to log into my account now. Let me try to do that once again. And Yeah. Now I'll very quickly start sharing my screen, and I'll quickly show you how this how you can list. So this is where I'm explaining to you that you have already created an online store. Now, how can you request to showcase your product or services on Indian Business Portal? So this is where we have. Uh, so you log into your seller panel, scroll down. This is where you'll see link your store and sell products, sell on Indian Business Portal, and you have to click on this option, which is send request, where this overlay opens up. Now, before obviously going there and verifying your IEC, before you do that, look at this section. This is where we have listed out the do's and don'ts that are there for listing on Indian Business Portal. So you should read these do's and don'ts, and more importantly, you can watch a tutorial video. This is where again we have highlighted all the mistakes that can prevent your business from being showcased on Indian Business Portal. So why to waste time in like submitting the request and then getting it rejected and then resubmitting it? So instead of wasting your precious time, what you should do is just review this tutorial video, and it will help you understand what are the mistakes that can prevent your business from being showcased on Indian Business Portal. So just review the video, and once you have done that, then you can proceed ahead with the process. So your URL and store name are pre-populated, and then you have to input your IEC number here, and then you have to specify whether you're a FIEO member. Lastly, you have to agree to terms and privacy policy of Indian Business Portal. You should read these before accepting, and then click on submit, and the request is submitted. But the activity or the work is not yet over. Now you should scroll down, and this is where you'll see this tab has started appearing. This was not there earlier. This has started appearing once you have submitted the request, and this is where you'll see the form. So this is the form that I've shown to you earlier. This is where you're adding the information about your export business. You should fill in this form and then click on save. And then the request is properly submitted. You'll see the status here. So once your request is approved, you'll start seeing approved. Once it is rejected, you'll see rejected here. And you will also get a reason why it is rejected. So it is not like it is just rejected and you'll not know why it is rejected. The reason why it is rejected will also be clearly specified, right? So this is again a very simple process that you can follow. This is where now we are going to now break into the question answer round. So I can see there are two questions. Can we have the recording of yes, you'll get the recording. You'll get an email with the recording of this session. As our products are B2B bulk quantity orders, how does linker.store help? So this question is Rupendra Sharma. So Rupendra ji, this is something which I have tried to clarify early on, but I'll try to clarify it again, that when you're talking about linker.store or when you're talking about any other platform, the journal assumption or the journal vision that we have or journal perception that we have is that it is for B2C, but it is something which can cater to B2B or both as well. So let me try to start sharing my screen and let me show you something, right? So this talking may not answer your question, or you may not get a convincing answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sharing my screen once again, and I'll show you, or I'll try to answer your question with highlighting few examples, and that should help you understand or clarify this concern in a better way. So what you're seeing on your screen is a linker.store online store, and this is a exporter store. So an international buyer can come here and they can see the various products they are offering, but you can see they cannot buy this product. They can send an inquiry, right? So this is one option which is available. Second is the other example that we saw. They are also exporter, but they are retailing, right? So a international buyer, probably a customer from US, can come to their online store and they can buy the product. So unlike the case of Paperflex, where a international buyer was coming and sending an inquiry, this is where they are placing an order. Or you can be someone who wants both of the world. So here is another example where a retail customer like me and you, they can come to their online store and they can place an order, and we can buy the product. And an international buyer, they can come here and they can send an inquiry. So they can do B2B as well. And let me open a very hardcore industrial product. So this is a hardcore industrial product, and this is where, again, this is an online store which they have created on linker.store, and this is where customers are coming and they are sending an inquiry that they are interested to buy these products from them, right? So even if you have a B2B business, you can create your digital catalog and you can showcase your product or services on Indian Business Portal, as well as have a digital presence. So please don't have that perception that it can only be used by retail businesses who are selling to the customer. It can be equally or even more powerfully used by B2B businesses who are retailing or selling in bulk. All right. I hope I've answered your question. Any other question from any other participant before we conclude the session for today? Now, one thing I would want to share with you, and I'm going to share my screen once again. But before that, I am seeing a question in the chat. One of the participant, Mr. Gagan, is asking, can we get help in creating our website on our online store? Yes, absolutely. You can get help. And I will share my contact details with everyone here. So if you want, you can reach out to me and I will help you connect with the relevant person from our team, and who can help you with the assisted store setup. So you can definitely get that help. So I'm going to share my contact details with everyone. So you can just drop me an email that you're interested to avail assisted store setup, and our team of professionals will be able to do that at a nominal price. So I've answered that question. Now, before just concluding the session, I just thought of sharing with you, sorry, wrong screen. So we are going back to the seller panel, and let me hide this. So there are two things that I want to share with you. One is from where you can know that what are the training workshops which are happening. So if you open the seller panel, this is where you'll see all the training workshops or webinars related to digital commerce. Again, I'm not using e-commerce because then we start thinking of the retail e-commerce. Anything and everything which is happening related to digital commerce, and any educational workshops or anything which is happening, which is listed here, so you can participate in them. And if you come down here, this is where you'll see the various offers which are available. So this is, again, I'm circling back to the question which was there, that if we want to showcase or if you want to participate or if you want to request for our catalog setup from where you can do that. So this is where you'll see the digital catalog setup service. So you can click on view details. It will take you to another page when there you can go and you can submit your request. So you can submit your inquiry. So that is another thing I wanted to highlight. So at any given point of time, if you feel that I need help, I'll not be able to complete this on my own. I want to create a very beautiful thing for my business, but because being an entrepreneur, I don't have that much time to learn everything and then implement it. So that's where you can avail a paid professional service, and that is the place. You can come here, your digital catalog setup service. You can just submit your requisition, you can submit your inquiry, and one of our professionals or one of our colleague will connect with you. They'll understand your requirement and they'll share with you what will be the commercials, etc. All right. So those were the two things I wanted to share with you before we conclude today's session. I cannot see any other question in the chat or in the Q&A box. So this is where we are going to conclude the session for today. Thank you everyone for taking on time and participating in the session. I hope you found the session informative. If you have any question, any query, then you can please do feel free to reach out to me. My contact details are available with you. So let's try to proceed ahead with what all I have shared with you. And if you get stuck or if you need any help, please do feel free to reach out to me, and myself and my team will be more than happy to assist and guide you. So this is where I'm going to conclude the session for today. Once again, have a wonderful evening ahead, and bye-bye.